Hello everyone, this is Defense Politics Asia and a new week and new actions coming from Trump to entertain us and keep the every week very interesting, and so that at the end of the week we have something to talk about in the DPA Open Mind. Anyway, latest of course the biggest news is the Donald Trump, sorry, not Russian. Donald Trump have ordered the pause or essentially cutting of military aid to Ukraine. So it will be cut until Zelensky demonstrate commitment to peace talk. I saw the rumors on X is that the demand seems to be Zelensky to publicly apologize for his antics at the Oval Office, which, given Zelensky's ego, I kind of have some difficulty believing that he's going to do it. But he's an actor, there is a possibility that he will just act it out. And however, this pause is now official, is confirmed. When I was doing the sit rep in the main channel, I immediately reported this breaking news. And at that moment, it was the biggest rumor. It was reported by Bloomberg, quoting an anonymous official. So the same official says, so the officials say that this includes all US military equipment that's currently not in Ukraine, including weapons in transit on aircraft and ships and equipment waiting transit in Poland. So it's a comprehensive stop of US aid to Ukraine. So according to the Washington Post, they reported that two different officials say that the US president has been clear that he's focused on peace and he needs the partners to commit to the goal as well. So they are pausing and reviewing the aids to ensure that it is contributing to a solution, which means that this pause is not going to be just a simple pause. I think Donald Trump's administration is going to go through every single thing that they are going to be sending to Ukraine, and they're going to decide if they still want to send all these things. So this is not going to be a simple pause. Zelensky basically screwed himself, and I did tell you that he's going to screw himself because he basically declared war on Donald Trump. And I already mentioned this like many videos ago. This is not something that just happened. Zelensky has been very antagonistic against Donald Trump, and the Munich Security Conference was that final straw, I would say, for the US side. And they were just looking to really tolerate Zelensky for one more time, and it was the Oval Office that really broke the camel's back. So the unnamed administration official quoted by the New York Times say that this directive temporarily suspends all military aid to Ukraine, effective immediately, affecting hundreds of millions of dollars in arms and ammunition in the pipeline and so on. So it also halts aid to the Ukraine Security Assistance Initiative, a dedicated fund to allow Kiev to buy new military equipment directly from US equipment. So they can't even buy anything from US side. Now, as you can see, this is a developing story as all the different press are trying to figure out the full information. This was breaking news then. It was at 9 a.m. Singapore time. So it's 2 p.m. now. Anyway, there is a press conference that Donald Trump was with the TMSC, the Taiwanese chip maker, the biggest chip maker in the world. The TMSC is investing $100 billion in the United States. So in that press conference with the TMSC boss, all the questions end up is about Ukraine. So I saw some of it. It's nothing particularly groundbreaking in terms of what Trump answered the press. But basically, he just reiterating that he don't believe Zelensky is one piece. So he said that this is no go. So this similar situation. So this is another article about the same thing. So Ukraine have not reacted because it's the early morning. I think he's gonna have a bad sleep. No, he's gonna wake up to some nightmares. So this is Zelensky actually tweeted saying that he believed that the war is going to last for a long time, and which is something that I also say that is this Ukraine position to fight on. Even if United States is going to stop the support, Ukraine is going to fight on. But of course they're not going to fight very long. But so he says Zelensky said the end of the war is very far away, and so Donald Trump is pissed off and said that this is the worst statement that can be made by Zelensky, and America will not put up with it any much longer, and immediately the cutting of all military aids. And I did warn this before. I believe that you guys who follow me closely definitely have heard me say this multiple times in different platforms like DPA Open Mic and whatnot, that Trump is going to cut all these military supplies to force the Zelensky to the negotiation table. And in fact, I'm going to say this, I already said this before, I'm going to remind you that I also predicted that USA will likely tariff or sanction any country that tries to give aid to Ukraine, to basically 100% force Ukraine into the table, or they're going to lose at the battlefield. So this is what I think, because the only way to stop the war is to not give Ukraine anything. There is because on the Russian side, you can't really force Russia to do anything. What are you going to do? Go to war? The only way you can stop Russia on the Russian side is to go to war with them. But the thing is that who wants to go to war with a nuclear power? So the only side that you can pressure is the Ukrainian side, and the Ukrainian side clearly is already losing the war. So it's easy to just punch the person who is already on the floor. So yeah. So that's what is happening. They're just punching the Ukrainians on the floor, and so the blah blah blah. So let me see. So the mineral deals, I think Donald Trump is still looking at it. But slowly, I feel like Trump is going to abandon it. Tentatively, they asked that if the deal is dead. Trump said that he don't think so. He said that it's a great deal for United States, and he will give an update on the situation on Tuesday night when he addressed a joint session of Congress. So JD Vance also talk about Zelensky, telling him to accept the mineral deals, because if you want real security guarantees, you have to, and if you want to ensure that Russia do not invade Ukraine again, the best security guarantee is to give Americans economic upside in the future of Ukraine. And I actually did say this, not sure which video, but no, it is true, because there is zero national interest in Ukraine right now for United States. As a country, there is no national interest in Ukraine. Trump have zero interest in Ukraine. So the only way to have Trump's attention or United States interest in Ukraine is to literally give some interest to United States, which is where the mineral deal come from. But the thing is, without it, then there is no point. Why is United States wanting to lose any more money and perhaps even go to war for Ukraine? For what? There is no point to doing that. So, which is why Zelensky don't understand what he's doing it. He wants a win on all sides against everyone, and that's not going to happen because Ukraine is not the kind of superpower. Not even China is going to be able to pull off something like this. So and not even Russia can pull off something like this, to put it that way. Russia, when they sanction Russia, what Russia do? They go to China, they make a deal with them, make friends, and then they build an economic relationship. What Ukraine have to do similarly would have to build up the economic relationship, the trade relationship with great powers, and then hopefully that they make some deals to stop the war. But there is no possibility that Ukraine is going to get back any of the land that was lost to the Russians. And the more the Ukrainians continue to drag it out, the more Russians is going to conquer more land, the more of these lands will not return to Ukraine. And Zelensky, refused. He's like that. The kid that was poorly brought up, they just cannot take no for an answer, and that's a horrible way to do diplomacy. And of course, it's not something new. We have already seen Ukraine messed up their diplomacy, including causing this war to happen. The Russians give ultimatum after ultimatum, and they have zero sense of danger, and that's why the war happened. If you know that the Russians is going to just attack if you cross the certain red line, and then you still cross it deliberately, then it's on you. So no, but of course, no, people say that, oh, but the Russia is the aggressor. So what? If you go in front of a gangster, okay, a mafia, and then you just tell the gangster, I don't like your face, you look like shit. You see whether the gangster will punch you up. And then you can say all you want about they are the aggressor, but you basically ask for yourself to get punched. That's the thing. And I can say the same thing for the Baltic states. They are like asking to be invaded. All the action that they have been taking for the past 3 years and all the rhetorics, they are going to be asking for an invasion someday. But the thing is, the good thing about it, the lucky thing for them is that they are in NATO. So the Russians are unlikely to touch them because they are in NATO. But if the Europeans also on this side of things, the Europeans continue to try to grandstand until United States, until Donald Trump had enough of these European countries and shut down NATO, then yeah, bye-bye Baltic states. No one is going to defend you. Not the French, not the British, not the Polish. No one is going to save you. No one is going to risk a war with Russia, which will end with nuclear bombs hitting them. So, this is just dumb. Ultimately, all these European countries talking about sending troops to Ukraine only in the event of a ceasefire is clearly nonsense. That they're not going to save Ukraine. They're not going to save Ukraine. Everything that the Europeans do, after this Oval Office nonsense, then they have the emergency summit among the European countries and Ukraine in UK. All they doing was simply doing exactly what Donald Trump told them to do, which is to spend more money on their military and not take care of the Russian flank of NATO. And that's exactly what they are announcing. They are announcing spending more money, announcing spending more of the GDP on the military, and then to basically strengthen their positions. But it's exactly what Donald Trump told them to do. So there is nothing new. They're basically all following Donald Trump's instruction. They're just making it sound like they have some backbone. It's not real. Though all these are not real. So and of course the other big thing, Donald Trump not just to declare war on Ukraine, is to declare war on Canada and Mexico. So the tariff, the 25% tariff, which I did mention a month ago when we first reported about all these things, which then subsided, came back again because I think everybody rests on their laurels. So here goes the tariff. So there's nothing they can do. I already told you guys, I think in the 1 month ago's video on the tariff, that the tariff is gonna hit them regardless, and the tariff on EU is going to hit you regardless. There's nothing you can do to stop it. It will happen. So, and it happened. The 25% import tariff on Mexico and Canada has taken effect, and this also includes the 20% on Chinese goods. So so this is the start of the major trade war between United States and the rest of some of these major countries, Canada, Mexico, and China. So of course the main focus tends to be seemingly on Mexico and Canada, and they have free trade for 30 years. So and Justin Trudeau is very, very unhappy. Of course, and then he said that Canada will immediately respond with 25% tariff on 19 billion euro or 30 billion Canadian dollars of US import, and another 125 billion Canadian dollars if the tariff is still in place in 21 days. I can 100% tell you it will still be in place after 21 days. Just hit it, man. Trudeau, just hit it. Don't be a pussy, just do it. Don't make your dreams come true, do it. Then so tariff will disrupt incredibly successful trading relationship. This is just pure nonsense. The tariff, people will still buy, if they need to buy. So the trading relationship will not change. People will still buy it. For the Mexican president, he said that they will announce the response during the news meeting in the morning. So we have nothing on the Mexican side yet. So the the 10% extra stamp duty on the original 10% imposed on China, so there's 20%, and then the cumulative 20% duty also comes on top of tariff up to 25% imposed by Donald Trump during his first term. So I'm not sure how do they count this 20% on top of the remaining 75%, or is it 20% plus 25% becomes 45%. So I'm not sure. So this is this I will figure out. I tell you more next time. But yeah, they are definitely going to put pressure on Chinese. And if I know you guys hate my China videos because you guys are all pro-Russian idiots, but no, the Chinese economic problems is real. I have to emphasize all the things I have reported about their economic problems are real. They are only sustained by pure imports, and everything else in their economy is shit. They have ridiculous debt, and a lot of this debt is undocumented. It's all very localized within their provinces, the provincial governments, and the debt situation is horrid. The consumer confidence, the consumer spending is terrible. The entire economy is purely held up by export. So which is why they're going to try to do whatever they can to increase export. The tariff is going to damage the Chinese quite a bit. It will have some costs definitely and it will reduce on Chinese imports exports into China, into the United States. It will affect China. So don't underestimate this tariff by the United States on China. China is not that invincible. It's not as invincible as you thought. And the Chinese are reacting by building up more on their military because that is the fallback. If they cannot deal with the trade war and the trade war fail, and if there is some kind of something that I predicted long time ago on DP Open Mic, I did say before that eventually, what if the Chinese continue their way of gaming the entire world economic system, they will end up in the Cold War with the rest of the world, where people will just stop buying Chinese stuff because they need to save their own country's economy, and then the Chinese will start to use the military, just like the British in the colonial times, to force the markets to open. Similarly to how the Americans have forced the Japanese to open their market, during the samurai era, of Japan. So the Americans came and then they just outgunned the Japanese. The Japanese were shocked by how outclassed they are. And the thing, this is likely to happen, which is also why the danger of war in the Asia Pacific is raising. The trade war is definitely bringing the risk higher and higher in my sphere of the world. So this is very, very scary. It's not a joke. This trade war on China is the real war. The one on the Canadians and the Mexicans, the Canadians and the Mexicans is going to lose the trade war. There's no other way about it. The best thing they can do is try to find new markets, but no one is going to be able to replace the American market. The Chinese are going to find the same problem because they have sucked up so much wealth from all around the world. They're going to struggle to find new markets, which is the truth. So no one have the money to buy more shit. So all this tariff is coming, and the Chinese have reacted by adding 15% tariff on chicken, wheat, corn, and cotton, and which is not good. It's not much. Like the Chinese have already, particularly on wheat and corn, has already diversified to South America. They have already doing this diversification thing 10 years ago. They have been doing it, and they have speed up as much as they can during the Trump's first term. So this is all part of the long game the Chinese is playing to finally destroy the United States. However, yeah. So all these things, this come to roost. So all this tariffing is not going to do much to the Americans. Yeah, because all these things can be replaced easily from other sources for China. I mean, they can buy from other places. Except I think soybean, wheat, and corn may be a bit harder. Cotton, maybe pork beef. I think beef they probably wouldn't buy so much from the Americans. All can be replaced from Australian sources and whatnot. So it's not that bad. But ultimately, like you see, conceding shares of the Chinese market to Brazil is just pure, it's an eventuality, and I said the Chinese has already diversifying before the trade war. So this is all the matter of the long games. The Chinese are actively fighting a passive war against the United States way before Donald Trump was president in the first term. So this is nothing new. And so all this is just complaining things. And so all the stuff. So the Honda, so like all these tariffing things, the Honda is actually already planning to move its production of one of its top selling cars to the United States to avoid the tariff. So all this tariffing is going to make a difference. The building a new factory means new jobs for the Americans, and increasing GDP, and increasing job opportunities, reducing unemployment. So all this is going to help. So Trudeau, of course, like I said, is very unhappy. He said that Canada will not let this unjustified division go unanswered. And so the justified way to do is to apply the sanction, and you're just. Then it's just, if the reality is this, if someone tariff you, you tariff back. That's just. And if he tariff you and you tariff back and you lose more money doing it, then Donald Trump, what Donald Trump said is true, that you're gaming the United States. You get what I mean? So that means the trade imbalance is clearly a real issue that the United States is facing. If both sides tariff each other and everything went balanced, then they wouldn't have need to tariff each other at all. Because but I think if that the tariff is going to hit and it's going to affect the trade balance for sure. And I think the tariff from the Canadian side on the Americans is not going to do too much. Definitely it will affect people. So, but I think it will affect the Canadians a lot more. But it will affect a lot of the Americans, the people on the ground. The civilians is going to be affected. There will be a short-term pain until the American market adjusts and find new sources or develop their own market, their own factories and whatnot. Then I think it will slowly balance. But the initial part for the Americans, you're going to feel it. You're going to feel the pain. So this is definitely going to happen. And however, then we have this very shocking thing. The Ontario Premier Doug Ford say that he will cut U.S. electricity export with a smile on his face. He's very keen, to punish, and he want to unleash the Ontario power on the United States. I'm gonna tell you, he's gonna regret this. Because all he does is giving a heads up to the Americans to build a lot of nuclear power plants, around that region. And then once there is no exporting of electricity to the United States, they're going to lose a lot of income. So, but you see, this kind of threat is going to get themselves into trouble. And also, if they cut the electricity, unilaterally, is a declaration of war. I just want to tell you first, it's a casus belli. No, it is an act of war to cut energy. It's not just energy, like water, energy, all these things. Once you have a deal, you have to follow through with the deal. If you cut unilaterally as a punitive measure, that's an act of war. Similar, on embargoes, or you try to blockade a country's port. That is an act of war. You don't have to fire a single shot. That's an automatic act of war. And the US military will come. So he's not going to be able to cut energy. He can say all he wants. He thinks that this is going to annihilate Ontario. He said that cutting off energy will allow Ontario to survive. I think this is kind of stupid. He believed that this is able to help Canada to win the tariff war. I think he's dreaming. So this is not going to happen. This is going to turn out really badly for the Canadians. Especially he tried to cut it off unilaterally. Although so far he said that he will not do it. He said that he will follow instruction from the federal government. But I can tell you, the Canadians, the leadership knows that you cannot cut off the energy. You're asking for trouble. And this is just now what I mentioned already, increasing 50% on imports on US farm products. So it's not going to do much. 15%, I don't think it affects much. and just gonna just make some Chinese food more expensive. Some it will affect the farms, the pig farms, that eat the grains created by the soil. Yeah, it's not going to affect too much. It will affect, of course, the American farmers. The Chinese apply the tariff, they're just going to find another source. So the Chinese people are going to be survive. The Americans are going to lose some revenue in terms of export, but yeah, I think it wouldn't matter that much for the it will, like I said, short term pain. Long term wise, I don't think these are all critical stuff. And on top of and also in terms of the trade war situation, the OPEC Plus have decided to increase supply of their production. So they're going to increase production, and where is the amount? 138,000 barrels per day. They're going to increase, and this caused the futures to fall. So the barrels, the oil price is falling. And I can tell you the main thing about this, like the increased output, introduction of US tariff, driving the oil price down. But I can tell you the main thing is they are trying to prevent United States from doing oil production. This is actually not good for the oil production countries. Clearly, they will want the oil price to be higher so they earn more money. Particularly when it was $100 per barrel, the Russians earn shit ton of money, which funds the entire Ukraine war. So the what they are doing now is basically to try to prevent the Americans to be profitable in terms of producing shale oil. So I'm not sure if by now, because that was some time ago, some years ago, whether the technology have improved to reduce the cost of production of the oil in United States. But yeah, I kind of see this as a reaction to make oil production in the United States very unprofitable, so that they can stall or reduce or stop Americans' ability to produce their own oil. But let's see. So anyway, these are all the major things that's happening in and around the Americans, particularly all around Donald Trump's Donald Trump's no war on the world. All this is always going to happen unless United States want to do national suicide. Otherwise, this is like all these are a matter of time. Donald Trump's election is just the pendulum swinging, and so this is all, I believe, should have happened way earlier. So, but yeah, it's difficult. Deep state is powerful. So anyway, thank you for watching. Press the like button, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next update.